Maine governor, who joins us out of Augusta, LePage, is fighting a Herculean battle against a surtax on the wealthy there. It seems small on face value, 3% surcharge on incomes in excess of $200,000. But, Governor, your point is that it's going to lead to a brain drain and a lot of very successful people leaving your state, right?
Well, it's happening right now. Every day we're losing doctors and scientists and, high wage earners are leaving, going to New Hampshire, just 100 miles away from the state capital. You get New Hampshire with no income tax. And people are telling me, why do I want to be punished for being successful?
What was the argument for this? That it would shore up education? What?
Yeah, it's a shore up education, but it's just a false narrative. There's plenty of money in education. The problem with education in the state of Maine, not enough money makes it into the classroom. The national average is 64 cents on every dollar makes it to the classroom. In Maine, it's 59 cents. So we're just top heavy, and, we have too many superintendents for the number of students we have. We have a declining enrollment, and we don't want to address it.
So were you really saying, sir, that when your term is done, you and your wife would leave the state as a result?
There's no doubt about it. I will not be paying an absorbent income tax in the state of Maine. I think that it's just not appropriate. They don't need it. It's just democratic wherewithal. They will tax everything you make, and we'll get more from your pets.
Governor, this did pass a public vote, right? I mean, and a prominent Democrat, this Senator Troy Jackson, in your state, had said that Mainers didn't approve question 2 with fog in their eyes, referring to this surtax on the wealthy. More people voted for question 2 than voted for either of the presidential candidates, and I think their vote should mean something. What do you say?
Well, what I say to that is that there again, the question's got about 10 words to it, and the legislation has 32 pages behind it. So the devil's in the details, but the details weren't on the ballot.
Governor, this comes at a time when Republicans nationally are focusing now and probably licking their wounds after the health care thing, and now trying to get together on the tax cut thing. But there are already hints that there are divisions there. What do you recommend Republicans?
Yeah, divisions there.
Yeah, what do you recommend they do?
Well, I'll tell you something. This is what I recommend. As much as I despise the ideology of Democrats, when it's time to work together, they work together. And I think that any Republican that did not support this effort for fixing the ACA, I hope they lose the next election.
Now, if they're going to be similarly divided, maybe not as much as divided on tax cuts, there are some already saying we better not make the deficit worse. There are some who are saying we've got to find a way to pay for this. We're not just going to willy-nilly propose big tax cuts and blow a hole through the deficits and the debt. What do you say?
I say Congress is broken. It can't work. It's time that we really take a hard look at it. I think we're heading into a constitutional crisis. I think our Congress of the United States is broken. And I think the American people elected Donald Trump to bring some change and some reform to this country. And if the Republicans in Congress don't realize it, it's time for you to go home.
So those who voted against the president on this and were ready to vote against this and send this health care rework down, you wish they would leave?
Well, I'm saying that, what are we going to do? Go fix. We're going to attempt to lower taxes when we don't know what the fiscal note of health care is going to be? It's insane. We have to fix health care. And so I'm telling you, if you can't do your job, go home.
There's another thought out there, Governor, I don't know if you heard this, that had Republicans approved this measure, even though maybe it was not quite as big as omnibus as the president's health care, President Obama's health care law, it still would have been unpopular because it would not have addressed some issues, and it would have hurt them on Election Day anyway. What do you say to that?
What I say was a work in progress. I think that this is the first attempt to do anything in a decade. I think by fixing some of it and making it a work in progress and continuing to work on it over the next 4 years, I don't, or actually the next 2 years, it would not have hurt them at the polls. I think by not taking action, I think they've really hurt themselves. In fact, I think both parties have hurt themselves significantly, and like I said, I think we're heading into a constitutional crisis.
You think Paul Ryan should go?
No, I don't think it's Paul Ryan's the issue. I think that the problem with Republicans is they break rank too quickly. It's like I say here in Maine, you know, whenever I say fix bayonet, I only hear one click.
Okay, I think I got that. Governor, thank you very, very much. Good seeing you again. Governor LePage.
Same here. Great to talk to you.